right, good morning. It's Sunday right now. We're at the end of the week. We have an easy run this morning. That's the first thing. We got 6 miles on the schedule today. This week is going to end up being around 50 miles. We've been on a pretty good build for the past 7 weeks. I think we have another 7 weeks until our first race, which is a half marathon in the second week of April. So I'm super excited for that. Today, like I mentioned, 6 easy miles. It's been kind of a hectic week between the Michigan winter weather and snow on the ground and all these different things, but we got through it and we're finally getting a little bit of a break from the weather, which is nice. By that I mean it's like 35 or 40 instead of 10, so it'll be good. But we got a busy day today. I got a couple of things planned, a lot going on. It is Sunday, but a lot to do. First things first is an easy run this morning, 6 miles. That should put us at our mileage goal of 50 for the week and get us all finished off in terms of running. A little brisk this morning. I think it's about 30 degrees, 35 if we're lucky, but I'll take that any day compared to 10. In the winter here, I count myself pretty lucky if I can find nice clean sidewalks like the one I'm on now. A lot of the time I have to deal with running through snow, but weather should start warming up and everything should start melting, so that should be solving itself pretty quickly. So this right here is what you really got to look out for when you got to enter to a snow that's kind of been cleared, ran through, then froze again. That'll roll your ankle in so many different ways. The one thing you can do if you're trying to get faster, easy addition. After your easy runs, add in some strides. These are 50 to 100 meters. Doesn't have to be a full out sprint. Sorry, it's cold. But good turnover, good leg speed. Just get moving fast every day. Do 4 or 6 of those. It's great for you. All right, we just got done with the easy run that you saw. It was 6 miles, which puts us just above 50 for the week, which is right on track. This is the goal of the winter build, is to be as consistent as possible, and I think we've done that so far. It's a little cold outside, so I can't really talk yet, but it's only 9 a.m., so the rest of the day we have a couple of things planned out. So Sunday, I'm going to go to church at 11. After that, at the grocery store, get my groceries for the week so I can meal prep. I'm going to show you what I'm going to make. I think it'll be good, just need a week. And then after that, we're going to go do some work on the project that I showed last week or the week before, my app that I'm building out, new training log. There's a couple of new features and concepts that I want to show. So that'll be most of my afternoon, but I got to eat some breakfast because I'm hungry. Shower, get cleaned up. I'll see you after the groceries. Alright, so I got my groceries. I'm going to start working on my meal prep for my lunches this week. Apologize if you can't see my face, but I want to show the food. So basically, this week all we're doing, this is slow cooker, crock pot. I love doing my chicken in here. It's super easy, it shreds up nicely. You can do all sorts of things. But we're going to be doing barbecue chicken in the slow cooker for this week. So obviously, I'm going to start They're chicken thighs. It's 2 pounds, I believe, chicken thighs. And they're just gonna go right in there, however you choose to. You can wash your chicken, you can not wash your chicken. I don't, I just put it in there. It'll be fine, it'll be okay. Chicken goes in the slow cooker. The chicken, we go in with just a couple simple ingredients, a couple of cups of barbecue sauce. Got this from Aldi, of course. Get it from Aldi. We got a couple tablespoons apple cider vinegar. Tablespoon, tablespoon. It's fine. We got some steak sauce that I'm adding in because I like the added flavor. Tablespoons of that. And then some brown sugar. So again, not complicated at all. This is how most of these chicken meals go. Just put it in the slow cooker for a couple hours. I'm going to do this with some rice that I'll make once I actually eat it, and then I just combine it after the fact, some vegetables. Super easy way to get your protein prepped for the week. Your carbs, you can do rice, you can do potatoes, you can do all sorts of things. So got this going right here. Almost forgot one last thing, garlic powder. I cook almost everything I do with garlic powder. I don't think there's any meal that wouldn't benefit from a little bit of garlic. So we'll get that mixed in there. And this is 2 pounds of chicken breast. So this is, chicken thighs, sorry. Each week, if I'm doing chicken thighs, I'll eat anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds over the course of 5 days. It's pretty standard, easy way to get protein. So we got our chicken here all prepared. This is going to go straight into our slow cooker, lid on. And this is going to go on high from anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. Of course, check your chicken to make sure it's done. But that's all it is. That's just going to sit, and then we'll come back later, and we're going to get the rice going. We're going to put it all in meal prep containers. That's going to be our lunches for the week. So we're sitting here at my computer, and as I mentioned in the last video, one of the main parts of this app that I'm building is going to be the planning section. I believe there's 3 main parts to the whole training process, and step 1 is planning. And before I get into the actual application itself and how that's going to look, I wanted to go into my philosophy of planning training and how I break it down throughout the year. So looking at this computer, you can see we have January to December. This is time on your vertical axis, and then the horizontal axis is going to be kind of the granularity of what we're doing. But we start with seasons. So seasons are what I think, that's probably the highest level I'll break down any sort of year or training goal. I typically break my year into 4 seasons, but this app is going to allow you to break it into however many you want. Just for an example, this is how I break down my year. So I have a season that is, for instance, if we start in the summer, this will be my summer running season. So this will run from May all through August. And this is just a couple months where there's a specific goal, there's a specific thing that I'm trying to achieve in a couple of months. Then we might go on to fall race seasons. This will be September, October, and November, where you might have different goals. You might be building up to a peak race in November, so that'll be a different season. Winter running, again, December through January, February, maybe part of March. That's what we're in right now. Then spring race season goes March, April, maybe up until May, again culminating in a peak race that you'll want to achieve. All right, so those are seasons. Now, it's entirely possible to get too granular and too into the weeds with planning your training, but the next level of training that you're going to be able to accomplish in the planning phase of this app is phases. As you can see here, this just goes one level down. So when I think of phases, I think of kind of secondary focus points throughout your training season. So if we take summer running, for example, we might have 3 phases. We might have phase 1, where we're building up our mileage over 4 or 5 weeks to get to a good starting point. Phase 2 might be a fitness phase where we're, grinding away at high mileage. We're really getting our fitness built up to the point where it needs to be. And then phase 3, we might have a peak phase or a taper phase. This will be the phase where your training differs. It might go down a little bit so that you're ready for that peak race. You're ready for, all of your fitness to come to fruition at this moment. And so that's the second level that you're going to be able to break it down to, is phases. For instance, in winter running, I'm currently in phase 3 of 4, which I'm calling the intensity phase. I had an intro phase, I had a build phase, now I'm in an intensity phase where I'm starting to get more specific workouts towards what my eventual goal race is going to be. Okay, so we have seasons, which is probably 3 or 4 of them throughout the year. We have phases, where again, 2, 3, 4 different phases throughout each season. And then finally, the final level of granularity is training weeks. And this is going to be kind of the deepest you can go within the application. So planning your training week by week. And this is the thing that you don't have to do it a year in advance. Your seasons, you probably want to plan them fairly far out. Your phases, a little bit. You might want to plan phases 5 or 6 months out just so you know what you're looking to. Training weeks, I typically don't plan weeks any more than 4 or 5 weeks in advance, just so that I'm at the most up-to-date information about how I'm feeling and how my body's doing. So training weeks is going to be the most granular that you're able to get within the app. And this is going to be the point where you're going in, you're saying, okay, week 1 of my build phase of winter running, I'm going to do 50 miles, and these are the 2 workouts that I'm going to do. So it's going to let you plan everything down to the day, but really the week is where you're going to want to be. And you'll be able to go in, and you'll see all this in a little bit when I kind of show the mock-up, but these are the 3 levels of granularity that a user is going to be able to achieve in this planning section of the app. So I think it'll really help people see the big picture of their year and how their races they have planned are going to be on the calendar. And then phases is going to help the user kind of break those seasons down into more manageable bite-sized pieces. And then training weeks, that's where you really get into the weeds with weekly mileage and workouts and specifics like that. Allow me how to show you how this is actually manifesting itself into the application I'm building. Okay, so here we are in the application. You should see it on the screen or on the home page. Now the home page doesn't have any functionality to it. This is the same as you saw it last time. Go over here to your training log. This is, again, the exact same as last time. You can see your activities, all of your sample data. I changed the look a little bit. And then you can also go and add an activity if you want. That's all the same functionality. If you recall from last time, the profile here was completely blank, but now I'm going to show you what changed. Okay, so here we are on the profile. And the first thing you'll notice is that it says 36 days remaining in season. And so as a user, when you go and plan those 3 aspects that I talked about earlier, if you're just a new user, this is just going to say 0 days remaining in season, or you don't have a season set up, set one up right now. But for example, we have 36 days remaining in our season. It's going to show you right there. Everybody wants to know how long until this thing is done. That's what it's going to show you. Then you scroll down, there's going to be a couple of cards similar to the activity view page, but showing a little bit different data. So the first one's going to say current season, summer running. So for an example, if we're in our summer running season currently, this is going to be the card that at a glance it shows, okay, we planned 96 activities for this season over 14 weeks, and there's 3 races that we have planned. Below that you can see phase 1, build. So this will show you the current phase that you're in. And again, how many activities you have planned, how many weeks are in this phase, and how many races are in this phase. So if I'm a user and I'm in phase 1 of summer running, I can see everything I have planned for the whole season and for the build phase that I'm currently in. And also at the bottom we have upcoming goals. So let's say I'm a user and I want to plan my goals in the future, not just in this season, but the next 6 months, 1 year. We see we have 12 time goals set. So let's say I'm a user and I've logged in, and now I want to see not only details of my current season, but the seasons that I have planned coming up. I'm just going to click right there into season. And then this is very rough. I haven't built out this section fully, but this is the kind of the idea. and this is going to be your planning. So this is going to show, say, your spring race season, summer running, and fall race season. And the idea here is that it's going to show, your start date, your end date for each season, and then some details. And you can click into that and go into the phases and the weeks. And the same thing with the phases, it's going to show different mock data. So that's the idea behind this section. Again, it's all about planning, and it's all about the different levels of granularity. We start with the season, say, I want to just plan for summer running. Great. Put that in there, you put the start date and the end date, and then you have a season set up, and you have this day, this number of days showing, saying, okay, all you have is a start date and end date. Now you have 90 days left in this season, and it's just a reminder of how much time you have left. So that's kind of what I did this weekend. And so my goal for the rest of the day today, what I haven't done, is I already have mock data set up, and I want to kind of flush out the styling for this section, and then also give the ability to go into a phase planning section, and then weeks and beyond that. So that's the main work that was done today. Again, there's still going to be more work done later on this and as we go. Again, I don't really have as much time to work on this as I'd like, but it's just a little project that I'm working on and something that I wanted to share. So if you want to see more technical parts of it, less technical parts of it, let me know down below, and I will have that out for you. That's going to be all I got for the video today. I wanted to show you some progress on the project just as we're going through it slow and steady, bit by bit. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.